Good day, everyone. This is week 5 of the Reddit League in Botswana against Shumi. So let's just go. So this is the first round. Botswana is yet again another one of those. Uh, Keep clicking and pray to God you find something kind of countries to go to college here. Yeah, this didn't look too similar to me. If you practice enough Botswana, you can recognize it a little bit, but for now, not really. Just saw college, and in countries like these, it's whoa, no idea what I was doing there. Yeah, so I found OD, which still haven't found. So yeah, not off to a great start. Usually, when you find a PO box place somewhere, you kind of know already what this is, and you can kind of tell the different landscapes, but not really specifically. You can maybe say, okay, this might look like north, the west, whatever. Maybe in only some instances, like on the northern border. But yeah, not really. I'm not really finding anything of use, which is unfortunate. Sometimes you do have to take quite a while to find something. And here's a place, Pakalane. Here's another very nice feature of Botswana. It loves blurring signs. So I can read that I'm heading to the A1, but not what the name of the border is. I tried in multiple angles, but it didn't work. I was thinking maybe it's the border, it's this border, but on the other hand, that wouldn't make sense because that's not the direction I'm going in, and we're heading to the A1, we're not on the A1. Yeah, I'm desperate to read that, but it it doesn't work. So meanwhile, I'm just wondering where could we be then? So yeah, onwards I go. And this is the A1. So I'm in between Gaborone and Francistown, which doesn't narrow it down. It really doesn't. So what do I do? Well, I'm just gonna look for a place called Odie. I was desperately looking. It was only a few seconds. I was kind of panicking at this point because like fuck, fuck, fuck. Where is it? Where is it? So in the end, I took a gamble, went there, and that was not at all where I was. I was close to Gaborone. So yeah, quite the shitty round in my opinion. It just didn't give me enough clues, except that maybe that maybe I could have figured that two-lane road indicated I was close to the big city and the college, but still, it that's just not my type of round. Very unfortunate. Just a bad gamble. Lobatsa, I do know immediately. See, this is a example of Botswana round that I do know, because Lobatsa is quite well known. Here's Pioneer Gate. I think that's the border. So I figured I was somewhere near. Outside of the city for sure. Yeah, that's called Pioneer's Gate. It's only 5 kilometers away. So it shouldn't be too hard to at least get close to this. Close to pinpointing, I mean. There's a slight curve in the road which could correlate with I'm seeing on the map. Although I do think I'm a bit more into the city than it looks like it on here. So perhaps, yeah, this looks more likely. A lot more buildings. And it's not, yeah, it's just outside of town. So this one is pretty straightforward in my opinion. And I got the 5k here. That's something at least. This is your typical Botswana round, just an empty road. But luckily I was close to a road, which you can actually find on the map. That doesn't count for the B roads, but for the A roads it does. So you can just zoom it out a bit, or in I mean. Let's look, which one is it? And there's the A20, and there's Kakea, 20 kilometers. Now I'm not very good at estimating distances, so what I'm gonna do for the remainder of this round is try and see if I can correlate the curvature of the road with the map. But that can be really tricky, because in this country the way the road goes can repeat itself, like, you know, not zigzag, but how do you say that, just make very subtle turns, and it just hops around a little bit. So that didn't really give me a lot of information. Yeah, it's this kind of pinpointing is just a bit tedious, not necessarily hard, but it can be, because I felt like I was a bit in the middle, because Kokocha is also 20 kilometers away. I figured, okay, maybe a bit closer north. And as you can see on the map, it all just looks a bit samey. It all just goes a bit more upwards and a bit more downwards again. So it's difficult really to be sure of which one of those, you know, parts you're in. Yeah, same goes for this. Do I think I'm here? Still not convinced. Yeah, in the end I went for this. Wrong one. It was more down there. But hey, like 300 points lost is nothing if you've dropped over 4,000 already, so in the end won't make too much of a difference. Now here's Kong, another quite well known, well, I wouldn't say well known, but it's one of the places that stands out more on the map. So yeah, but it doesn't look like I'm in the city of Kong, because it doesn't look like any people live here, unless Kong is a ghost town. I don't know, could be. Now here is the A2, which would be right. I think I'm just checking the place near Mamuo Gansi to be 100% sure I'm actually in Kong, because, you know, you never know if there's the second place in Botswana named Kong. I wouldn't put it past them to do that, like they would in it's not a country that does that a lot. Is it Japan? I think it could be Japan. There's definitely a few of them that does that. Stuff like Russia, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this road just slightly bends. This is what I mean with there's very subtle bends, like a round ago. That's just a bit characteristic of Botswana. Now, it seems to me it's very likely I'm on one of these T-junctions, because it looks like down there it's turning like 90 degrees, and so does here. So I was pretty convinced about this one. Bearfishy Bear for some reason just pinpointed it on somewhere where there's the road, but it's not his seed, so you can do whatever you want with it. Anyway, second 5k, and there's the last round. Also looking a bit odd, but not impossible. Just keeping my eyes peeled for some clues. And yeah, in general, Botswana is just a bit of a, how do you say that? It looks a bit samey all over. It's just the same dry, savanna-esque climate. Although I think it's a bit more lush in the east in general. Don't quote me on that though. Tibequana. Now that sounds like it could be a place name, but I'm not gonna gamble on that. I've got enough time to look for other more concrete clues. And there's a nice green sign. If it could not be blurred, that would be great. At least I can read it's the A3, which is something. Now Maun, which is big, is to my west. And ooh, there's an even better sign. Again, if it could not blur. But I think Zoroga is 60 or 50 kilometers away. I'm not 100% sure. So if I can just check here what the name of this town is, which shows it right here. Does it? No. Need to go back a little bit, because usually they do have signs for when I'm entering a town. And it's Kveta, which is here. So, yeah, I reckoned I should be somewhere down here. But this is a bit tricky to pinpoint, because it can trick you with, you know, which roads are on the map and which ones aren't. I was first going to see which way this rope is going. Slightly bends, which would correlate with what I'm seeing here. Going slightly upwards to the north. And yeah, that all looked pretty good to me. So then I took a gamble. Well, not a gamble, but just assume or hope that this road is on the map, so I can just put it a bit more south of here. That wasn't the case. But yeah, I got in the end 20,672 points, and as I figured that was not enough to get a point, I think so far I've gotten dead last in the division in terms of points. And well, yeah, Shumi won. I'd say that it's just unfortunate because of that one round, because otherwise, as you could have seen, I did quite fine. But just got fucked in the end with the first round. I don't think that was a mistake necessarily, but it was just a dumb round. But yeah, first loss of the division. Too bad. Well, better luck next time. So, see you guys later then. Bye.